According to animal behaviorists, some of your most normal everyday habits are quietly hurting your cat. But do you actually know which ones? That's the frightening part. Most of them feel completely harmless, and if you keep doing them, which almost every cat owner does, you could be slowly eroding your cat's trust, their health, and their sense of security within their own home. Here are 6 everyday things that hurt your cat far more than you might think. 1. Screaming at them when they do something wrong. Have you ever caught your cat knocking something off the counter and immediately shouted their name? Be honest, most of us have done it. It feels like the natural response in the moment. But here's what's actually happening inside your cat's brain when you raise your voice. Cats don't process cause and effect the way we do. Study from the Journal of Veterinary Behavior found that cats who were regularly yelled at showed significantly higher levels of chronic stress and were considerably more likely to develop behavioral issues such as hiding, aggression, and litter box avoidance. They're not learning, "I shouldn't do that." They're learning, "This person is unpredictable and unsafe." And that's the part that's truly heartbreaking, because you're not trying to harm them, you're simply reacting. But your cat has no way of understanding your intention. All they register is the volume, the tone, and the energy. And over time, that doesn't correct behavior. It quietly destroys the bond between you. Think about it. If every time you walked into a room someone randomly screamed at you, how long before you stopped wanting to be around them? That's exactly what your cat experiences. And if that's hard to hear, wait until we get to the last one on this list. Because there's one thing almost every owner does out of genuine love that might actually be causing the most damage of all. 2. Never letting them hunt or chase. When was the last time your cat actually chased something? And no, staring at a fly from across the room doesn't count. Most indoor cats go days, sometimes entire weeks, without a single real hunting experience. And we don't even notice, because they appear fine. But they're not fine. Cats are hardwired predators. Their entire brain is structured around the hunting sequence: stalk, chase, pounce, catch, kill, eat. When that cycle never gets activated, something starts breaking down on the inside. A study published in the Journal of Feline Medicine and Surgery found that cats without regular play stimulation showed increased rates of obesity, aggression, overgrooming, and depression-like symptoms. So that cat who sleeps all day and seems low maintenance, there's a real chance they've simply given up. They're not lazy, they're mentally starving. And the solution isn't complicated. Just 10 to 15 minutes a day of interactive play with a single toy, something that mimics the movement of real prey, can completely transform your cat's mood, energy levels, and connection with you. You'll start discovering a version of your cat you didn't even know existed. 3. Feeding them nothing but dry kibble. What if the food you've been giving your cat every single day is slowly dehydrating them from the inside out? That sounds dramatic, but it isn't. Here's something most people genuinely don't know. Cats are desert animals. Their ancestors evolved to obtain almost all of their water from the prey they consumed. That means your cat's natural drive to drink water independently is extremely low. They simply aren't built for it. So when their entire diet consists of dry kibble, which contains roughly 10% moisture, they're living in a state of chronic low-level dehydration, and most owners never notice. A study from the Journal of the American Veterinary Medical Association found that cats on dry food-only diets had significantly lowered total water intake compared to cats eating wet food, even when fresh water was freely available. Over time, that chronic dehydration places serious strain on their kidneys and urinary tract. It's one of the leading contributing factors to kidney disease in cats, which is the #1 cause of death in older cats. And the frustrating part is that it's entirely preventable. You don't have to eliminate kibble altogether. Even incorporating some wet food a few times a week makes a substantial difference. You're essentially giving their kidneys a fighting chance simply by changing one meal. 4. Petting them in all the wrong places. Ever been petting your cat and had them bite you completely out of nowhere, leaving you wondering what you did wrong? You probably pressed the wrong button. Most owners pet their cats the same way they'd pet a dog: long strokes down the back, belly rubs, reaching for the tail area. With dogs, that works perfectly well. But cats are wired in an entirely different way. Their skin is packed with nerve endings that shift from pleasant to overwhelmed in a matter of seconds. It's called petting-induced overstimulation, and it's one of the most misunderstood aspects of cat behavior. A study from the University of Lincoln found that cats showed the lowest stress responses when touched around the cheeks, the base of the ears, and under the chin. But when owners focused on the belly or the base of the tail, stress hormones spiked almost immediately. So that belly your cat rolls over to show you, it's not an invitation. It's actually a display of trust. And when you go in for the rub, you're betraying the exact trust they just extended to you. That's why some cats seem so inconsistent. One minute they're all over you, the next they're walking away. It's not random. They were trying to enjoy the moment, and you accidentally overwhelmed their nervous system without realizing it. The solution is straightforward. Stick to the safe zones, slow, gentle strokes around the head and cheeks, and let them lean into you naturally. And the moment you notice their tail beginning to flick or their ears starting to flatten, stop. That's their way of saying, I love you, but that's enough. Respect it, and notice how much longer they choose to stay beside you. 5. Hiding the litter box in a corner. Where is your cat's litter box right now? Be honest. Is it tucked away in a basement, shoved behind the washing machine, or crammed into some dark closet? If it is, you might be the reason your cat feels stressed every single time they need to use it. We hide litter boxes because we'd rather not see or smell them, and that makes complete sense from a human perspective. But from your cat's perspective, you've just placed their bathroom in the most frightening spot in the house. Cats are simultaneously predators and prey. That means every time they use the litter box, they're in one of their most physically vulnerable positions. They need to feel like they can see what's approaching and escape if necessary. A box crammed into a tight, dark corner with only one way out goes against every survival instinct they possess. Research in applied animal behavior science found that litter box placement and accessibility were among the most significant factors linked to elimination problems in cats. That means if your cat has been going outside the box, there's a genuine possibility it has nothing to do with behavior at all. It's a location problem. They're not being difficult, they're frightened. And here's the other mistake most people make. One cat, one box. Behaviorists recommend what's known as the N+1 rule, one box per cat, plus one additional box. So if you have 2 cats, you need 3 boxes placed in different areas of the home. This gives them options and helps reduce territorial tension. 6. Leaving them alone for far too long. Remember earlier when I mentioned there's one thing almost every owner does out of love that might be causing the most damage? This is it. There's a widespread myth that cats don't care whether you're home or not, that they're independent, self-sufficient, and genuinely indifferent to whether you ever walk through that door. It's one of the most damaging lies in pet culture, and it's affecting millions of cats every single day. A 2020 study published in Current Biology found that cats form genuine attachment bonds with their owners, comparable to the bonds that dogs and even human infants form with their caregivers. When researchers separated cats from their owners and then reunited them, the cats displayed clear signs of either secure or insecure attachment, depending on the quality of the relationship. This isn't opinion, this is science. So when you leave for 10 or 12 hours and come home to a cat that appears completely fine, they may not be fine at all. Cats who experience prolonged isolation can develop anxiety, depression, overgrooming, changes in appetite, and even litter box problems. They simply suffer in silence, because that's what cats do. They don't bark at the door. They don't destroy your belongings. They withdraw. And that silence fools us into believing everything is okay. The truth is, your cat waits for you. They notice when you're gone, and they feel it far more deeply than they'll ever show. You don't need to be home around the clock. But small things matter enormously. Leave enrichment out before you go. Rotate their toys regularly. Create window perches so they can observe the world outside. And when you come home, don't just walk past them. Sit down, be present. Give them 5 minutes of genuine connection. Because to your cat, you're not just their owner, you're their entire world. And all they want to know is that you're coming back.